Do you want to get into topics?
Sure, topic me.
Do you want to go right into the Sha-carri Richardson apology and the footage?
Sure. I can't wait to hear your side of things.
I just saw it. Mm-hmm. I will always preface everything that you should never put your hands or any part of your body without consent on anybody else.
Keep the energy. Keep that energy. Mm-hmm.
That's never okay.
Right?
And
And
I would like to hear what you have to say.
No,
yes, let's go. So what do you have to say first?
Finish.
So she pushes him.
Multiple times.
Now.
In public.
Yes.
A very
public.
So I
want to talk about something that may be uncomfortable.
Federally regulated space.
Yes, that's all. Right. It's all not okay. And what happened where she got arrested, she had to get arrested. She has to learn there's accountability for her behavior.
And
if we look at it within a relationship dynamic, it seems that there were other boundaries being crossed beforehand. And I think in a full discussion, when we talk about relationships, we have to take accountability. So I don't think they should be working this out together or being couples counseling, number one, when there's violence and abuse. And I don't know what his actions are. Why are you making that face?
His actions in terms of patiently and maturely trying to remove himself from the situation.
So
while someone else was repeatedly trying to instigate actions and instigate violence, and
that is one possible thing that is happening.
From the video?
I don't know. I can't hear what's going on, and I can't hear the discussion that they're having. Because there is a such thing. So she crossed his boundaries physically, correct?
Yes.
Someone can emotionally cross boundaries.
Can you go to jail for emotionally crossing boundaries?
Which I have already said is she should.
No.
That's against the law to put your hands on someone. But that doesn't mean that we can't have a conversation about behavior and the things that push people's limits.
Okay.
And that's a more nuanced and uncomfortable conversation that people can't have. Because should somebody be held accountable? Yes. And let's look at relationship dynamics.
No, I think I think people are fine having that conversation when the woman is the aggressor. But if the man was the aggressor, nobody is looking to be like, well, what did she do? Which is kind of what you're saying here.
That is not what she needs to be accountable to, the fact that she probably should have walked away a long time ago.
Okay, that's fine.
And that she did that, and it was never okay. It is never okay to put your hands or push people or continually at all.
Then why did you bring up not being able to hear what they're saying in the video?
Because there's also the possibility that there were boundaries other than physical that were being crossed.
I hear that, and I think that no one says that when the situation is reversed. And I think it's really interesting that you're bringing it up now.
I do, and that's what maybe makes our podcast
this is kind of a form of like victim blaming.
No, it's not. So here's the thing. I feel like in the United States we have marginalized. So when we talk about victims and domestic violence, overwhelmingly women are the victim.
Okay.
That's period, mathematically.
Sure.
So we have actually done a disservice to a lot of men by saying that they are just perpetrators of violence and not fixable.
Okay.
That they are just broken humans and they're always going to hurt women. That is the narrative about abusers.
Okay.
Now, it is statistically important to say that a man or woman who has perpetuated violence before is more prone to perpetuating violence in the future.
Okay.
But that's not to say that people can't have other underlying issues that are causing these things.
Sure.
So would Sha-carri yeah, go and take a perpetrator abuse class. She should. She should learn that it's not okay to put her hands on anybody ever.
Okay.
That can be true, and there could be relationship dynamics and unhealed people in these relationships that really need to be addressed. And so when we talk about boundaries being crossed physically, let's talk about there's emotional abuse. There is verbal abuse. There are all kinds of abuses that are unseen that cannot, just because it's not able to be found guilty in court doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
I understand that. All this sounds like caping for Sha-carri.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all.
All right.
Because when we talked about R. Kelly, I said, well, I think he was also a victim of abuse. And when we talked about Diddy being an abuser, I said, I think we should also look at his childhood. And each time you said something about it, and I feel the same way about Sha-carri. I think that instead of our media does a good job of just polarizing people.
Okay, but you're not saying, there may be something in Sha-carri's childhood that caused her.
We know there are things though.
Okay.
We know that she comes from a tougher background.
In this conversation, as far as her being violent towards her boyfriend or whatever he is, you have not brought up the fact that she may have had issues as a child, or that we know she has. You have said, what did he do to trigger her to act like this?
I didn't say that. Ooh. I said that it was her responsibility to walk away. That is what I said. And within interactions, and we can say this, I mean, where do you think these behaviors come from? Do you think they just appear? They all come from childhood.
Andrea, okay, but this is the first time, until I said that you haven't acknowledged her issues from being a child, you have said, we don't hear what they're saying, implying that he may be saying something to cause her to act that way, thus it not being okay, but it's not just... What do you mean no?
I'm not saying there's a causation. Why
does it matter that we can't hear the video? We can see that she is continuously trying to start an issue and he is trying to walk away. Why do we need to hear what's going on?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Because we are going to continually see these things play out in the world if we don't start looking at the root of the issues.
Okay. Why that bothers you so much is something else. Okay, so what we did get audio of is her lying to the police about what everyone saw in the video. Okay, now what's up with that?
So if you go back, she says, I could say that it was self-defense if we could just say whatever. And then 3 seconds later, she says, I did it.
Okay, now even her saying she could say it was self-defense, do we see anything in any of that video where she's defending herself?
She said, I could say that. She didn't say it was self-defense.
She was lying. She lied multiple times in the video.
If he could say it's assault, I could say it. She said that once. I watched the video.
I didn't say she said the same lie a bunch of times. I said she said multiple lies. She lied and said that he put his hands on her.
That was the one time. That was in that one time.
Saying he put his hands on me is one statement. Mm-hmm. Saying I could say this is self-defense, that's a second statement. These are two.
I didn't hear to put the hands on me. I heard she said I could say that he put his hands on me.
Okay, but is there where's the video footage of him putting his hands on her?
She said if he could say I assaulted him, I could say that he put his hands on me.
But that's not true though. That's a lie.
She said I could. She's saying he lied, I could lie.
But we see him being assaulted.
She's saying it's a lie though in that statement.
But it's not a lie. We see the video of her continuously putting her hands. Okay. All right. Yeah, pushing him, impeding his path, impeding his ability to leave the situation. What we would advise any man to do, what you would probably advise your son to do if a woman is acting crazy, leave the situation.
He successfully moved away from the situation.
Did he? We see a whole bunch of video of her jumping in front of him and pushing him back.
She should not have done that. She should not have done that. 3 million times. And there is something that happens in relationships where men continuously lie, hurt women. I'm not saying this is a scenario.
And that gives them license to then put hands on him.
It does not.
Then why are you bringing this up?
And then women get to a place where they react violently. Because it's important to understand the function of these things within relationships.
This is only a thing because it's a woman doing it and a man. When men beat women,
you just can't think in a nuanced way and are making it adversarial.
I'm stop insulting me on the low. That has nothing to do with it. I'm trying to understand why the same conversation can't be done.
Because I don't understand why you cannot hear that I've said 1,000,000 times that she needs to be held accountable.
And right after you say that, you direct it back to him or like the root issue.
There's a nuanced conversation, just like there was with everybody else. Just like you brought up with R. Kelly's victims that they stayed there.
Okay.
You just don't like it that I'm doing it with a man.
No, I don't care. I don't care that you're doing it with a man. I don't think it's, number one, I just think.
So you can say it about women repeatedly, but I can't ask a question about
we've talked about women getting beat up all the time. I've never said, I wonder what they did. I've never said, I wonder what the deeper issue is with her and that.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
You can go back and you can see where you said, oh, they received money or they got payouts or what else did you say? They reaped benefits from being in those relationships.
That has nothing to do with saying
that's another cause of them being in those relationships.
No, it's not. Or maybe it is, but that's not what I said.
Okay, yes, it was.
That's not what I said. There's never been. We didn't talk about Diddy beating up Cassie, and then I said,
Cassie, there you go.
And then I say, well, yeah, but I mean, I feel like there's probably a deeper issue with like, whatever. Like we don't hear the audio to know what Cassie was saying while Diddy was beating her up.
No, that is not. I'm saying nothing should cause that thing, but let's talk about boundaries in relationships.
You literally just said we can't hear the video.
Because, in the video, in the cam, she's saying that there were things going on in the relationship. She's saying that there were things happening. And if you don't want to have a conversation about that either, then we can only have one conversation.
Stuff like what?
I don't remember what she said.
He was cheating? Verbatim. He was fucking somebody else? She went through his phone or something?
All of that.
Okay. The opposite happens and we don't ask the same questions.
Yes, we do. Yes, you do. Are you kidding? Women are victims of abuse way more than men, and they cannot get justice for it. You are literally making stuff up right now.
Okay. I don't think they don't get justice for it because
all those questions are asked. Was it real? What were they doing? What were they wearing? Why did they deserve it? And now that I'm not even saying that she shouldn't be held accountable. 1,000,000% she should. And we have a huge problem within marriages and relationships right now where there is a lot of different bad behavior being perpetuated. And we can't get out of cycles of abuse. And I am saying that I don't believe that Sha-carri or other people are beyond healing. That is what I'm saying.
Sure.
So let's look at these underlying things. That is what I'm saying. And that is where I started. That's not where you started.
Yes, it is. You started wanting to know why, how, or what he said to cause her to act like that.
I want to look at It's the same thing I said with Chris Brown and Rihanna when she came out and said that their relationships were toxic.
That was a totally different conversation.
But it's the same concept of there's toxic relationships.
Yeah.
And
yes, but let's also not act like Rihanna is in the extreme small minority that came out after a domestic violence situation happened and admitted any level of fault or wrongdoing in it. It's not like women are just in a parade coming out of these situations saying, well, I did do this, or well, we were both this.
No, they
the
are.
Okay.